back in New York City for the women's quarterfinals as Suze Koehler serves first here against Tracy Davis. Dave Fink in the broadcast booth. My name is Dave Vincent.
Side out.
Nice little underhand paddle from Tracy Davis. You expect this to be, Dave, a competitive match?
Yeah, well, last time these two played in February in Las Vegas, it was Tracy winning 25-23 in the 5th place playoff. So yes, I do expect a very close match. Suze is on a huge winning streak right now, Dave, as you know, following the career of the world's most interesting woman.
She told me she didn't drink Dos Equis.
Suze won the Women's Classic, Dave, in Austin 3 weeks ago, defeating Jenny Schmidt there in 2 games in the final. Then last weekend, Dave wins the Missouri State Singles, taking down 2 collegiate All-Americans en route to that title. So a big winning streak here for Suze.
Well, she told me she rode her motorcycle, her Ninja, up to the mountain and hiked up 400-foot face cliffs as she was hiking, and came back and then taught a self-defense course at the university.
That's what she calls a Monday morning.
Right. He said that's what Dave forgot to mention in that article.
I knew I had forgotten a few things.
I said, well, you know, at least you're not like jumping out of helicopters. And I said, oh, no, I did that last month.
Yeah.
Point.
Further training in her daily life.
1-1.
We're tied at 1 going to 15. Referee is Carly Stickles.
Suze has never made
Point.
the semifinals of a women's race for 8 event, Dave. In fact, you go back and look at the early stages of the women's race for 8, which started in 2013. She's in there losing 21-5, 21-7, Suze, that is. And now here she is really becoming a threat.
Point.
And she has taken up the sport relatively late in her
She's only
life.
been playing 5.5 years.
Yeah.
Became an All-American in 2 years.
Started playing handball in college.
Hold it.
I mean, that's to be one of the top players and able to do it like that. That's
right.
Shows you what kind of athlete you are.
Well, she said she's played every sport growing up, including extreme sports. She's also an expert marksman, Dave.
4-1.
Highest level in the military for a rifle and a handgun. So she'd do well in the Wild Wild West, too, which is where we live.
5-1.
She's a regular Annie Oakley.
And, Dave, this is not all that unexpected for me. I don't know how much handball Tracy has played since the last event in February. Here we are just about 2 months later. And since that event, Dave, where Tracy beat Suze
Hold it, replay.
25-23,
All right.
Suze has won 2 tournaments. She's played virtually every day since that loss. And I would speculate Tracy's not played that much since then. Suze won a match last night in the preliminary round. That's what we call the Women's Race for 8 qualifier. The Friday match. Trey was given a bye by virtue of being a top 4 seed.
Second serve.
Into this round of 8.
She has such a good serve.
Side out.
And that serve that she does well is off down the right side. She hasn't really flirted over there yet.
6-1.
But Tracy's serve to the right. You can talk to pretty much anybody in the handball circles. I tell you that's deadly. Yet we haven't seen it from her at all yet, and she's...
Well, Trey is slow to get out of the blocks right now. She's not making a lot of pickups.
7-1.
Tracy just turning 41, Dave.
Now living in Northern California.
Yeah, and Suze, she's got the book on Trey. She's played her enough, and she knows the kind of style that can work against Tracy. Big foot fault there, Dave. That was the entire shoe. Maybe that should be called a double fault. If your whole shoe goes over.
Point.
Well, Tracy's got such a huge wingspan, and her stride is gigantic. I'm surprised that she can be contained in that server's box to begin with. She has one of the largest
3-7.
spans when she serves.
Foot fault.
Oh, look how far over the line she is on that. And once that first foot fault is called by a referee,
3-7.
it becomes foot faultitis.
Almost a foot fault on the
Green.
second serve.
Serve.
Well, it was.
3-7.
Should be a second serve here again with one screen.
That's another foot fault.
Yes.
Point.
Suze Koehler, Dave, 27 years old.
4-7.
From St. Louis, still lives in St. Louis.
Point.
5'8"
First time
and a
out.
half. Tracy Davis just turned 41. So a 14-year age gap between these two women. We saw a 15-year age gap in the men's quarterfinals, Marco Chavez and Vic Perez. That one was won by the younger man, although I don't think age had anything to do with that one. Suze Koehler's favorite athlete, Dave, Serena Williams.
Okay.
Thought you might be interested.
I am.
Okay. Tracy Davis, 5'9". So these two virtually the same height.
She just seems taller than
She
that.
does. Yeah, I agree with that. Also considers Serena Williams to be her favorite athlete, Trey, that is, as well as Venus, Michael Jordan, and Rookie Wright.
Serving.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, me too.
I also like Venus.
5-7.
Yeah.
5 serve 7.
Point. Six, 7.
Quickly now, it's Trey Day back into this match. Really started off terribly. Trey was about 24 minutes late to the court, Dave. Was not faced with any type of discipline or penalty for that, but she didn't seem to get a full warm-up in.
Which is about 6 minutes
7,
earlier
6.
than she normally shows up.
Yeah. There's Suze with a party ball.
Side out. Six, 7.
Suze, Dave, engaged to be married. She'll be married this summer, in June, as a matter of fact. Her fiance is here. Former
7,
college
7.
baseball player. I know you two have chatted quite a bit about.
Foot fault, Tracy.
Well, I walked up to him immediately
hitting
without
runs.
even knowing he played sports and said second base.
7, 7.
And he said shortstop.
Yep, I would have pegged him for a shortstop too. I'm surprised you didn't get that.
Yeah, I know. This is 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
And then he turned around and said, played second base my whole life until this year. I'm now a shortstop.
7.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to give you credit for that.
No, I actually was very frustrated with that.
I don't think
Not
you
knowing
should
what
be.
league a person is in,
That can change some things.
it does.
Yeah.
Not even knowing if he played the sport.
Well, you knew he played the sport. Just look at him.
I did, but still.
Point.
See, I mean, I look at you and think first base or third base. So, I mean, that's not a real answer,
7.
though. That's waffling.
Well, I played both. And
Yeah.
therefore, you get the extra credit.
Point.
Okay.
I'd say first baseman by trade, but third base is what
9,
got me
7.
there. What did it for me?
I could see the strength of your first base is when the guy gets on base and that chit-chat that
A
goes
lot
on.
of talking.
Just what
With
is
me,
said.
it never stops. I actually would find a way to walk over to second base to continue it. A little bit of screening going on here.
Point.
Another point for Suze.
That was about the longest swing we've ever seen that produced a shot that went
10,
6
7.
inches.
Both of these women dressed up in their WPH gear. They look great.
Yes.
Side out.
I really like that sharp blue shirt that Tracy Davis is wearing.
Missouri. 7-10.
Not a lot of side outs in this match, Dave.
Screen,
Both
screen.
players getting in there and scoring.
2 serves.
Trey has only had 4
7-10.
service innings. 6 foot faults in those 4 innings. And that's another one that was not called. Now, Dave, how are you going to call the previous 6 and not call that one? She was halfway to the front wall with that front foot.
Point.
Now, another argument, and I'm not saying this has anything to do with the call, but
8-10.
does that actually help you to stand close to the front wall? Because I played handball in Australia, and they actually hit the front wall with their follow-through. I didn't notice any kind of advantage from that. I didn't feel like, oh, that's a better serve because you're close to the front wall. Didn't get that sense.
I think it's interesting because I think if you're up that far, you're putting yourself out of position.
Yes.
When the returner returns the ball.
Yeah, you'd rather be at that
at the
16 to 20 foot mark for your shot.
I'd rather it be. I think it's harder if you move the service box back, because then you have to try to find a way to get that ball to hit the front wall and get over the line, which would be a further line to get it over. So I think if anything, we move the server's box backwards toward that dotted line. That would make it more difficult.
But also, it's not an advantage if it was moved up, as long as the short line was in the same place.
I don't think it would be an advantage, but
yet it's a thing. I mean,
somebody like a naughty senior would find a way to make it an advantage, knowing how to do the angles and great serves.
Point.
I just don't know.
The only way to find out is to try it. Let's try it.
I'm all about trying it. Yesterday you told me my ideas were the worst things you've ever heard.
Yeah, I'm trying to hope that would stop you from.
Well, that's why I'm not proposing that we do it, because I don't want to invoke another one of those.
I see how you're trying to make it my idea, the way that you're wording it.
Side out.
I was going to apologize for the way I said that to you, but now that you brought it up and you're laughing, I feel so much better.
I wasn't laughing at the time.
No, you were not happy. I actually felt bad about it later that night.
Oh,
and
that makes me happy. That's enough for me then. I don't need the apology.
No, I felt bad.
Okay.
You need to apologize to me, making me feel bad.
Sue's struggling now in the backcourt, Dave. A lot of errors. Make that 6 back wall errors behind the dotted line. 9-13, though. She's still in command here, I would say.
Tracy's starting to feel it.
This is a big mental hurdle. And Trey somehow feathers that ball in this. This is going to be tough.
Look at these athletic gets here.
Side out.
I'm seeing a lot of legs flying around this court.
Yeah.
And ponytails.
Mm-hmm. Well, Dave, this is a big mental hurdle for Suze to get over because she's never beat Trey. They've played close matches. In fact, first time they played was at the Women's Classic in Tucson 2017, where Trey won pretty comfortably 2 games. But since then, each match has gotten closer, 25-23 in favor of Trey in their last matchup.
Timeout.
So Suze is clearly chipping away at the block of ice, and I'd love to see a shot of the crowd if we could. I know it's very congested in there. Fans not really knowing what to do during these timeouts because the players come out, they don't know, can we talk? Should we not talk? Do I stand up?
Oh, yeah, those fans left and went to the side court over here where another match is happening.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I looked over and there was not that the match was great. It was an older crowd. They were getting, I would say, physical on the court.
Yeah.
So anytime that sort of thing happens, there was sort of a mass exodus.
I want to be more specific.
Why are people into that? Why do you need to go watch 2 guys that are yelling at each other on the court?
Oh, that's a nice poke there from Suze.
I like that.
That's just you make your hand as big as you possibly can, and any part of your hand that it hits, you just hope it hits somewhere good, and that one did.
I mean, Suze is wearing size 2X gloves on those little tiny hands of hers. I thought she was a goalie.
I think even goalies have to shrink their equipment to some degree.
Look how big those gloves look on her.
Possible game serves
Thought
9.
we're at Disneyland for a second. Game point serves 9.
Tracy had already won 23 national titles before Suze even knew what handball was. Dave, think about that.
She won 11 of those before Suze was born.
Wow.
She already earned her jacket.
Oh, nice
Side out.
paddle kill there from Trey. Under pressure. She's facing game point there, Dave. 9-14.
Here's the replay.
Yeah, this is a great shot.
9-14.
Perfect form.
Wow, I believe Suze
Short.
could have got her hand on that if she wasn't screened just for that brief second.
The referee did not see
Second
it
serve.
that way. That's a tough shot.
Hold it, hold it. Replay that.
Dave, Suze plays out of the St. Louis Hinder Club, the newly refurbished, remodeled St. Louis Hinder Club, where you have so many
9-14.
good friends. Really a beautiful facility there. Dave, she's a proud member. I know that our friends are watching and listening right now.
Well, I'd be playing out of that club if I, A, played, B, lived in that area.
Yeah.
Side out.
Oh, wow.
What a shot.
Here it is.
Possible game serves 9.
Game point serves 9, going to 15. I like that serve.
Side out.
Surprised Tracy went down the left there, or did that seem like the right thing?
I thought it was.
Thought she had that nice lane on the right.
Well, Suze was moving to the right, so she went the other way. Suze got tangled up.
Hold it, replay that. $9-14.
And Dave, how hard is it to close out a win, even though it's just one game against somebody you've never beat before, somebody that you've really looked up to?
Yeah,
It's tough.
it's tough the first time, and
Yeah, great shot.
after that, it seems like you just improve
Possible game
yourself.
serves 9.
You kind of come to expect it.
Side out.
And once again, Suze unable to convert on that game point.
9-14. Short. Second serve.
Right corner.
Trey's moving really well right now, Dave.
Hold it.
A
Contact.
lot of hinders called in this match, Dave. Is that the
Timeout?
style of play
Second timeout.
between these two, that they're hitting a lot of shots right next to their body, or is this the referee just not letting them play enough?
No, I think the ref made the right call there. I think what's happening is Tracy hasn't played much handball, and she's hitting the ball back at herself when she's trying to control it down the walls. She's missing. And so you're seeing a lot of balls crossing the center of the court. She's trying to push that ball down the left wall, so it's sliding the wall. Instead, it's about 2 feet out from the wall, and now she's in position of being in the way, or I say in the position of being out of position. And I've seen it a lot here as I'm watching. There's a lot of open shots, and she's just slightly missing them. And Susie's reacting as opposed to hitting, so she's throwing the ball to the front wall, and then she's out of position. And it's probably just because of the pace of the ball. Both of these women are just so evenly matched right now. 9-14. Tracy, though, hasn't been able to score after getting to 9.
She's playing good defense, though, preventing that 15th point.
Point.
And there it is. Finally, Davis gets number 10.
Yeah. Well, Tracy's not out of this
10-14.
game by any means.
That serve down the right, she hasn't even done it.
But you can see by the way she's setting up her shoulders and her feet that she cannot go to the right with that serve. She's stepping with that left foot at 45 degrees.
14.
There's no way to hit it to the right when you're doing that. And now Trey is really starting to put the pressure on.
Well, Trey's got 2 straight points on the right-hand side.
This might be the time for a serve down the right.
14.
But you see that left leg is not in the right position.
Oh, she did it inside out. Foot fault called, though. That was the least of the foot faults
I
that
think
we've
that
seen.
was pretty extreme.
I thought that was right on the line. The few before that, though.
I think we might just eliminate that foot fault rule next season on the tour.
Side out.
Until someone can prove to me what advantage you have stepping closer to the front wall.
I would just say, Dave, the best way to
Possible
say
game
it
serves 12.
is allow the foot fault. Just the foot can hit the line. That's
Point.
it.
Well, that's how
There it
they
is.
play it in racquetball.
And the game is now ended as Susie finally gets that 15th point, winning 15-10. We're going to take a 4-minute break. We'll be back. We'll continue the discussion about this foot fault.
Great.
I know that you can't wait.
I can't.
As we'll have more, second game here of the women's quarterfinals between Suze Koehler and Tracy Davis will conclude in about 4 minutes here on WPHLive.tv.
All set, guys. Tracy serving. 0-0.
We are back here for game number 2 as Tracy Davis serves 0-0 after losing the first one. Tracy lost 15-10 or 10-15 if you're at home keeping score. I want to say hello to the New York Monster, Raul Ratian.
I just wish he was here.
Yeah, I know.
I know he's 4 blocks away and can't make it here, but I wish he would.
What you don't understand is 4 blocks equals 2 hours.
Yeah, that's true. Also the potential to get hit by 60 taxis.
Point.
Well,
and that's a very real fear.
If you're as big as the New York Monster is, they fear him more.
1-0.
By the way, that guy, I drove with him one time.
Yeah.
Hold it, screen.
If anybody should be driving a taxi in New York, it should be him. That was the craziest. Well, it'll never be topped. That's all I can say. That was the craziest
Point.
drive I've ever had anywhere in my entire life. So thank you for that. When I go to bed at night, my life flashes in front of my eyes because of you, Raul. You were in that car. You were
well,
in
that
that
experience must have been erased by my experience with Brian Medina in L.A. Took me from LAX to Craig Park, which was about 70 miles, and it took us about 30 minutes to get there.
2-0.
And there was traffic. So
2-0 score here.
you can just imagine what that ride was like.
Well, you were in the car when we were driving, so the fact that you don't remember, probably good.
I do remember the post-bike tour celebratory party at NY Monster's apartment. That was a good one.
Well, we're not going to talk about that live on the air.
Point. Timeout. First
And now
timeout.
Trey is off to a very good start. You sense that Trey was getting the momentum in that middle of the first game, and she just wasn't able to capitalize, even though it felt like she was playing better handball at the end of that first game, but just a couple of mistakes there, and the lead was too large to overcome for Trey.
Well, I know every summer you go play tennis throughout the summer, stop playing handball, but that first time that you come back and start playing handball, your legs are just a little wobbly, and you're like, it just doesn't seem like I've ever played this sport before. It's just a little out of sorts. So that is what I believe happened to Tracy in game number 1. You felt that she was trying to be bouncy and bounce around, get into position, and she seemed like she was getting in the way. Now
4-0.
she's got that first game experience, and she's starting to be more comfortable.
Side out.
And she had that one lined up pretty nicely, but came up
0-4.
just short. NY Monster had some interesting thoughts, Dave, on that foot fault line. Wish we could get into those, but just the action here, Dave, is
1-4.
it's a little too intense to be talking about foot faults.
That athletic get from Susie. Susie Koehler's a lot like Jake Plummer. Just breakaway speed, very fast. Not the prettiest getting to that spot, but then hitting it hard when you get there. And you think,
4-1.
well, they've got all these weaknesses, but then you never can exploit them because they're always getting the ball back. I call them scrappy players. Look at she's scrappy, fast.
I like that comparison.
Thank you. Also, the
Excellent.
hair.
5-1.
Right.
Same long hair. Look how Susie's right here for this.
Really laid out for that dive.
Point.
Trey now just
Tracy didn't
kind
want
of
that ball to touch her at all.
rolling.
6-1.
And this is a fast second game.
I don't know what's better, Trey's color combination, orange and blue, or this serve and shoot style that she's employing right now.
Side out.
And you see Trey really bouncing now on the balls of her feet. Going into clampdown mode, really. Making some great gets here. That was what
1-6.
really held her back in the beginning of game 1, making no gets. Just kind of stuck in neutral.
Point.
Very interesting camera angle there. Not much we can do about that. They're hitting the ball so deep on that back wall, unable to track it.
2-6.
I almost believe they should turn those lights off in that hallway down under gallery so we're able to sweep that camera over without any flashback. Would the players go for that, Dave?
I think it would have to stay off the entire match, because if you're used to it being on and then it comes off.
Well, after this match ends, just walk over there quietly and shut that light off. Put some tape over it. Okay?
Side out.
I'll let you do it. So in case I get in trouble,
I took a vow, though,
6-2.
to never be anywhere but this broadcast room today. And I've so far been very successful.
Okay.
Have not spoken to anyone.
I know.
I don't want to. Except for the NY Monster, of course, if he drops by. Dave, you taught me that move, and I never
2-6.
appreciated it until I did it.
Well, I'm going to give you a new move.
Oh.
Put your headset on.
Side out.
With that headset on, you don't even have to talk to anybody but, well, nobody.
6-2.
Sometimes the match isn't even on, and they
Yeah.
think that you're
Right.
busy. Oh, he's busy.
Yeah.
I walk around with the headset on in the subway earlier today.
Side out.
A lot of people use Bluetooth.
Yeah.
They look self-righteous and
2-6.
kind of yuppie-ish, you know?
Yeah, not you.
No, I have the whole headset on.
Right.
I make it all about me.
Yeah.
You should have seen the plugs I had to buy in order to convert this headset into cell phone adaptable.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
I knew you'd take the appropriate
6-2.
steps, though.
Yeah, I had a 5-pin LXR cable. Yeah, it was interesting.
Now, you know I have no idea what that means.
Into an RCA and then a mini 5mm.
Yeah.
I might have got that a little backwards, but you know what I'm saying.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Point.
Now Susie's starting to.
Terrible air there from Trey.
3-6.
Susie cut the lead in half here.
Yeah.
That's not a great serve.
And
Oof.
oof.
That's tough.
3-6.
Raise your hand for the short ball and then get hit by a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, Sue shouldn't be raising her hand anyway.
No, she shouldn't. But,
No, I mean, that's...
but you're stopping play, which is an avoidable anyway, so it's a free point. So Tracy should probably see that it's a dead ball, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand this raising of the hand. Are you reffing your own, or do you have
Point.
a ref?
You raise your hand on every play.
So you say. I've never
Both
seen
hands.
that.
Not even one, but both. That's 2 times worse than this.
4-6.
Fortunately for you, you won't have to worry about me playing much more.
That's good.
Just got one more tournament to get through, 2 more losses.
I didn't see it. Replay.
Oh, and Trey gives her the call. That was one of those really tough backwall shots, Dave. And we've seen
4-6.
players, more so than any tournament I've ever seen, asking for bad bounces off these back walls, or this back wall in
Side out.
particular.
Yeah, it's not like they're playing in Tucson.
Right.
This is
6-4.
probably the most solid court you're going to find in the whole tour.
Yeah.
No bad bounces on this court. I mean, it'd be a struggle to find one, and yet this ball seems to find it.
Point.
Or so the players say.
Seven, 4. Football. Football.
Oh my goodness, that was more than a football.
2 serves. 7-4.
She said 2 serves, but really it should be second serve. And another
Replay.
hinder, Dave. Are we going to have more hinders or bad bounce calls? Already in this match, Dave, 23 hinder calls.
Wow.
9 bad bounces.
7 footfalls.
Now, by comparison, Dave, our first match of the morning, our race
Point.
freight number 1 versus number 5, 1 hinder, 0 bad bounces.
8-4.
Same court, same rules. Something.
Football.
Ooh, that was
Also
Yeah.
0 foot faults. I want to add that in. Because right now
8-4.
we just reached 19 foot faults in this match.
Carly Stickles has called more.
Well, she's a stickler for foot faults.
Yeah. I'm going to say Marcos was.
Yeah.
Point.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. And that even amazed Tracy, had that flat roll-out fist face that you get.
9-4.
Right.
Side out.
Dave, I know that Our viewers are going to be very interested. The NY Monster is en route to the facility.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. Pretty exciting stuff.
All you had to do is just call a guy out.
4-9.
He said he'd be here in 20 minutes. It's actually a 2-hour drive. I'll tell you, if he is here in 20 minutes, it goes to my point of him and how fast he drives.
Point.
Although I will admit I also was in a car with Paul Brady one time. The
5-9.
last time that I'll ever drive with Paul in the same car. I don't think driving was his strong point.
Yeah. I will say, though, it is your strong point. Nothing more that I enjoy than being a passenger in your car. Very safe. Very relaxing. You do all the talking, all the driving, all the paying.
All the singing, that is.
7-9.
Carpool karaoke.
Yeah.
7-9 is the score here.
I kind of feel like
Hold
Trey
it,
is
replay
out
it.
playing another hinder now. Tracy jumps right across that. She has to stay on the left there, doesn't she?
Yeah, I don't even see how you can take a step to the right.
7-9.
But if the ref's not going to call that, you're going to have to continue to be in the way.
Well, you say that, but at the same time, we say that this is a gentleman's sport where you kind of police yourself. But so that theory doesn't
What is she
really
going to call
apply.
a hinder on herself?
No, just don't do it. Don't run and cross the ball, even though you know the ref's not going to call an avoidable. Just like you wouldn't pick up a double bounce.
Side out.
Tracy stayed down there. Susie went around the wrong way. Could have been a
9-8.
collision if Susie would have dove like she always has. Hard for the ref to call that. Yet you know that Susie could have got her glove on it.
Side out.
And that did not look good from Trey there. Needs to
8-9.
find a way to get that ball back in play. Sue's now employing her 5th different serve. Pretty impressive, Dave. Oh, nice hands there.
And there's more contact.
She must use that same moisturizer that Marcos does. Those soft hands, Dave.
Very soft.
Yeah.
9-8.
Inside out, down the right, little reverse.
That's side out. That was a good serve. That was a good serve.
What was Tracy thinking here? That it slid?
Not sure what happened there, Dave.
Tracy turned her back after the serve, thinking that it was, I believe, that the ball was either short or it slid.
That's a long way to throw that towel, but Suze can do it
8-9.
all. I've seen players struggle to get that towel up there from right underneath the referee. There was a collision, that time with the wall.
Side out.
Susie didn't play that one correctly.
Tracy's got a
9-8.
lot of support here, Dave, at the NYAC.
Sponsored athlete for many years.
I mean, she's got the 6th man in her corner, which I don't think Suze minds that,
Point.
Dave. Suze says, I like to play on the road.
10-8.
Getting close to that screen.
Well, we've gone 2 straight rallies without a hinder.
Side out.
Make that 3.
Oh, but
That's now a record.
The
in
ref
this
could have
match.
called a screen serve at least two times in a row.
8-10.
Right corner.
Party ball here. This is going to be trouble. Oh, and it's a flat roll. Tracy,
Point.
what a
Great.
rally. Definitely the best rally of the match right there, Dave.
Yeah, Tracy dives, gets the ball back.
This is a
Look at
great
this-
shot.
Look at this
9-10.
replay here.
Beautiful. And now Suze with the closing speed, Dave. That's the Jake Plummer speed that you're talking
Yeah,
about.
but then she. What's more impressive, the speed or that left-handed kill shot?
Well, she had her momentum going forward. It makes it hitting the ball
Point.
hard and low a lot easier.
Timeout. First timeout.
And now Suze, Dave, on the brink of her biggest win, I would say. I mean, I know the Women's Classic, Dave, was a huge win, but to take down a Hall of Famer for the first time, make her first women's race rate semifinal,
Yeah, that's good. Good for her.
I don't want to judge for her what her biggest win is, but I'm going to say this would be in her top 2 at the very least, if she were to win this.
Still a big mountain to climb. We're at 10-10 here in game number 2, Dave.
We saw last night, Dave, in the primetime match, Luis Cordova against John Iglesias. Iglesias going for his first win against Luis Cordova, barring that New Orleans travesty match that they played. And Iglesias won the first game, was 10-10 in the second, and could not close it out. Ended up losing 15-11 in the third game in a match that just went back and forth for 2 hours. I know you didn't like it, Dave, but it was an amazing battle. Similar to this one.
10-10.
Well, I sat through the whole thing and I enjoyed it. It wasn't that I didn't like it.
I didn't get the sense that you did.
I just said that I felt it was sloppy. That's all.
What a shot there from Suze. Coming in after the timeout, Dave, with a tomahawk kill.
11-10. Point.
That's a good kill shot right there from Suze.
3 straight kills from Suze. You remember the Jake Plummer
12-10.
closing speed, left-hand kill, then the tomahawk kill, then that right-hand kill.
I like that right-hand kill. Because she hasn't been using that corner at all. She digs that out.
Side out.
The only thing we're missing from Suze is when she dives for the ball to actually get it back to the front wall.
Yeah, that
Now,
hasn't
Tracy's
happened yet.
been able to do it, but Suze has come up short.
Point.
Now Tracy's starting to tighten the rope.
Tracy was tightening the noose in that first game, but just
11-12.
was trailing by a few too many. Now she's right within striking distance at 11-12.
Point.
Ooh, nice shot. Tracy now makes it 12-12.
12-12. Short. Second serve.
Dave, this match could be 2 more minutes or 1 more hour. Really.
Yeah.
It's a nice 2-all pass there from Tracy.
Side out.
Oh, and she puts that right into the ground. Has to be frustrated with herself there.
12-12. Point.
What a shot there from Suze. Dave had a chance to sit next to the legend Dan Armijo last night during that Cordova Iglesias match, and he said
13-12.
simply, you win matches by not making hand airs. That's it. That's all you have to do. And I believe, Dave, if either of these ladies cut their airs in half, they'd have already won this match easily.
I agree with
Point.
that.
I mean, there's another air from Tracy. Sets up a match point for Suze. But Dave, think about it. Tracy now with 42 unforced errors in this match, and yet she's still in both games.
Possible match serves 12. Side out.
Wow.
Pretty good break there for Trey.
12-14.
Just slides that right down the left wall.
This is a party ball.
Side out.
Yep, another air. In a spot like that, Dave, you need to just open up your hand and go with that underarm
match
shot.
serves
Just
12.
push it to the left. Don't take that chance.
This could be it here.
See what kind of reaction Suze has if she wins this rally.
This could get emotional.
Side out.
Tracy takes that from the middle of the court, Dave, into the right corner.
12-14. Foot fault. Hold it. 12-14. Side out.
Like, that's a smart shot from Suze. Just punch that ball as hard as you can to the ceiling. Force Trey to play that off the back wall.
Possible match serves 12. Point. Nice
There
match.
it is. Susie Koehler takes down Tracy Davis
Good job, ladies.
here in game number 2, 15-12. Tracy not happy with herself, but Susie has to be in great spirits here after that win, as she will now advance to her very first semifinal. Courtney Pachote, Hillary Rush coming up next. We have more women's quarterfinals. That's another great one.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one.
Let's stay tuned for that in less than 10 minutes here. WPHLive.tv. Stick with us.